This is a photo of four sons of King George V, who's my grandfather. Left to right is Prince George, the Duke of Kent, and I'm going to mention him in here. The Prince of Wales is my father, King Edward VIII. Prince Albert is Elizabeth's father, and the illegal monarch, George VI, who helped in my kidnapping and the takedown of my father. He helped the Illuminati take down my father with character assassination. And that was, then there's the, did I say the Duke of York here. Now, I'm putting this up here, and I'm kind of tired and everything. Maybe I should have stopped a while back. I'm trying to clear something up, though. This is Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist. She's my aunt. She was married to King Edward VIII, Prince of Wales. He never married Wallace Warfield Simpson. A double did. She was an American spy. And that was just one of the doubles. They became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Excuse me for panning around here. I want to show, I wrote a book before I found out about my kidnapping. JFK helped kidnap me and his father, the Illuminati. That's the reason your press has never printed one piece of any of it. They kidnapped me. Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers. And in 1983, I was flown out to Mr. Flint's, and he was shot by a program shooter. And I was writing about mind control and using it, chipping people way back then. And you can program them to commit suicide, die of natural or what appears suicide natural cause. They could create an illness or cure it. So they could program someone without their knowledge, of course, and then they would blame it on mental illness, which one has nothing to do with the other. One's a weapon being used. It's in war games, if you want to say that. But Mr. Flint was shot by a program shooter. He says here that I know who was responsible for his shooting, Larry McDonald, in 78. Larry McDonald that I ran in the campaign, the plane went down in August 31st of 83, and I was flown out to Mr. Valence. He was part of trying to kill me after I did the book, and he was one of the cases. April Fool Day of 80, he and other doctors and some others really almost managed to do it. They did. The reason I'm writing this is my father never married Wallace Simpson. He married my mom. She's a school teacher. Can't even find my dad's picture right at the moment. Maybe I don't need it. I put it up. I'm tired, and I think I should just put this away for tonight. I wanted this one to look decent, and now I can't even find my dad's picture. I hope I haven't dropped it somewhere. But anyway, my father, Edward VIII, married Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, American teacher, sister artist Georgia O'Keeffe. They took him down with character assassination. History is a total lie. And you talk about Zuckerman of Facebook, where I'm putting things up, I didn't know he was the grandson of the Rockefellers that kidnapped me. Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kennedys, my own Uncle George, the illegal George VI, Elizabeth's father. So she's not the monarch. She's a criminal, and she's not the queen. Let me say that. Now, the one thing I want to say is when I got the letter from the FBI, ongoing investigation, national security involved, it was back in dated June the 23rd of 79, ongoing investigation, national security involved. And it went on, I was almost killed April Fool Day of 80, and later taken across the state line to Alabama, taken illegally. I was in a mess how they tried to kill me. I work for Fred Simpson, the district attorney, Madison County, Huntsville. That's your space center, and Redstone Arsenal, which has a lot to do with my kidnapping and everything. It became NASA in about 1956-57. Of course, Redstone Arsenal was already there, the Army Command Center. But anyway, I was taken to Moulton, Alabama, and given another name, Peggy Ann, and I married Childers. My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. My father is King Edward VIII, forced to abdicate, and 1936 December, and history tells you he abdicated to marry Wallace Simpson. He's married to my mom all the time. It's so ludicrous, all of it. And in 1937, she married the double, and George VI, who's illegal, my uncle, became king, the illegal king. And thus Elizabeth is illegal, like I said. I was born in 39, and I had a picture I show a lot where my uncle in 1939, year I was born, was with President Roosevelt. Their family was together there. They were planning my kidnapping in 41. I was born Victoria, the second heir to the British Crown, the moment I was born. My father had an addendum to the forced abdication, and it is and was legal. Sir Winston Churchill helped burn the Windsor files. What I'm trying to get to here, so I'm going to leave it at that. They kidnapped me, and you never heard any of the truth of it. That was not my father that married Wallace and became the governor of the Bahamas and committed so many crimes. This double did. Anyway, I wanted to tell about JFK because he's really the one that helped fly me in to Moulton, Alabama, to a pigsty. And JFK Jr. came up on the trail here in Troutville, Roanoke. It's the Appalachian Trail off of Mountain Pass Road in Troutville. They shut me down. In 86, I came here, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and say this. My father and mother were still alive and married to each other. They remained married all the time. So you talk about Zuckerman, and he's the son, like I say, of Rockefeller, who runs Facebook, of all things. He and Obama started this thing back about last Christmas, I believe, about fake news. Well, you talk about fake news. This has been the fake news that the media won't touch because the Rockefellers and Rothschilds control it. They're certainly not going to tell about kidnapping me and taking down my father and the torture done to me and my kids here, the crimes done to Great Britain. I wanted, now let me get back to JFK, because he was shot by a program shooter, Lee Harvey Oswald, and Jack Ruby was programmed to shoot Lee Harvey Oswald and kill him, and he had cancer, which gets into what I was writing about that you can do with mind control. You can create an illness or cure it. You can make a death appear of natural cause, suicide, cancer, heart attacks, etc. It's the Tesla files that were stolen in 40. You can program people or groups or armies now. So I want to get to this. JFK, and they are saying something about the files that's been released about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King got in on all of it, and I've said this prior to this. These were just released, the file, today or yesterday. Now, I've put this up, most of this up, before in the last 4 and 5 years on YouTube and Facebook, and some on Google+. So I didn't just come up with it. But Martin Luther King helped John Kennedy, because with what was being done to me, and I didn't even know. I hope the world sees what they did to me. But part of it is because of South Africa. The whole point in taking down my dad is he would not follow the orders of the Illuminati, the might as well say the mafia or Freemasons, your global government that came to power after they took out my dad and kidnapped me. It's called the United Nations, and that's your global government in power now. I wanted to tell about JFK, though. I started looking today, and one of my relatives has gotten in touch with me from England and admitted that I am related to them. I am the Queen of England, is who I am. My father's Edward VIII. I'm not going to get her in trouble. But I wanted to give you the end to the royal family. Jackie Bouvier Kennedy, her sister is Caroline Lee Bouvier, and she married Stanislaw, I may not be pronouncing it right, Radziwill. And I believe he was born in Poland, but he was of royalty. And she also married Michael Cranfield. Now, there's could be two ends to the royal family here, where the JFK, I know that they hobnobbed with the Mountbattens, and there's, I got a list here now, I guess I don't have it, of how the Mountbattens, of course, Philip Mountbatten that married Elizabeth. He's a cousin to me, just like Elizabeth is, and I hate to say that because she's really done a number on my family and my country. But anyway, Stanislaw Radziwill, she Lee Bouvier, sister to Jackie, married him, and I think he was a prince, but maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, Elizabeth, calling herself queen, said that Lee Bouvier Radziwill couldn't use princes, but she does, and did. But she married the two of them that were involved with the royal family in one way. And I know I'm skipping around here. But anyway, Michael Cranfield, she was married to first, Michael Temple Cranfield, Lee Bouvier, sister to Jackie. And he was supposed to be the illegitimate son of Prince George, Duke of Kent, right here, next to my dad. He was, anyway, he has only two children that are supposed to be his, but it's claimed that this man was his son that married Lee Bouvier. So she was married to him, and he's supposed to be the son of my uncle, brother to my dad, Edward VIII, illegitimate son. Isn't it strange they brought me over here and gave me the name of Peggy Dempsey, who was the illegitimate, they were twins, Carl and Peggy, to Lina Dempsey, and I've shown their picture and all this before, so I'm not going to show it again. The pigsty where Kennedy, and you think I'm rambling? Maybe you should walk in my shoes a minute and hope you get to see your children again, because you don't know if they're alive or dead. Anyway, there's also, you can Google this, anybody can. It shows Jackie Bouvier Kennedy, Newport Casino in Newport, Rhode Island, and this is Jackie, and she's with this Michael Temple Cranfield that married her sister. Was the first marriage to Lee, who became Lee Bouvier, who then married Stanislaw Radziwill, Prince. And she used the name princess. So there's two ends to the royal family there, how they got into the royal family. and had access to me in helping Roosevelt appointed JFK's father, Joe, ambassador to England. 36 till they kicked him out in 46. 36 is when my dad, they took him down illegally, married to my mom, Never Wallace. And anyway, they took over and invaded Great Britain with illegal treaties that were signed, and they had the military in the UK, and thus all this happened about Israel is taken over by the Jews again and became a state again, and the United Nations, which is your global government. So Michael Temple Canfield, he married, was the first marriage to Lee Bouvier, Jackie's sister, and was supposed to be the illegitimate son of Prince George, Duke of Kent. It only says in the that he has 2 children, so I don't know if that's even true. I hesitated to put it up, but it's in a lot of things, the Daily Mail, news, etc., if you Google. And it may be. He was killed in 1942 in a plane crash. That was right after I was kidnapped. So anyway, I hope this is making sense. I'm going to go to bed and see if I can rest. And the other thing I wanted to tell was when I was Googling this today, I found out a lot of stuff I didn't know, was that Lee Radziwill went to bed, and this is according to a book by Gore Vidal and some other authors back then. I didn't get their names, but there were at least a couple of others that wrote this some time back. Gore Vidal was one of them. That she actually, this is Lee Bouvier Radziwill, Jackie Bouvier Kennedy's sister, went to bed with JFK. Really so many times, and even when Jackie was pregnant, and she accompanied JFK to some where he had to go overseas or something, and she went to bed with him then. So I mean, I think about what they did to my father, and they've done so much to me here in this country and my children, to my mom and dad, country. All the lies, and you've got Zuckerman and Obama talking about fake news suddenly. By the way, that's right after he came back. Obama visited Elizabeth and gave little George, who's illegal, a Rocky horse. I think for his birthday. I believe that's the way it was. Anyway, I had a picture of my son, who's the real monarch after me. And it was a Rocky horse when he was about maybe 2.5 years old. And all the money I've lived in, they made a pauper out of me, let me tell you. They have committed crimes against me that are unspeakable. And I guess I wanted to say, look at the family. Look at the crap, what the Americans have done to us. What part of my own family's done to me, to us, and one of the most of all things, what they did to the UK and to the Brits. And I'm going to leave it. I hope that I've made some sense on this. I'm tired, and I'm going to let it go. And I probably am making a mess out of trying to get my face on here and all of it. But I guess that's about it. I did want to show my dad again. I can't find the picture here of him, so I don't guess I will. Don't seem to find it, so.